Here lately, I've gotten a lot of new followers, and a lot of you guys have been asking for an updated house tour and go through each room and just explain our plans and our goals for each room. So starting off at the front door, you immediately walk into what we call the entryway. Some people call it a foyer. Right now, this is the main way that we come in and out of the house, but eventually we'll come through the back door whenever the mudroom is built on, just since it's closer to the driveway. When you walk in, to the left is the dining room, straight ahead is the bathroom, and then to the right is the living room. In here, we definitely plan on redoing the staircase. We need to sand it all down and refinish it, just because it's very worn. Thankfully, none of the trim in here in the entryway has ever been painted, but it has been stained, so we're really not sure if we'll change the stain color or anything like that yet. I haven't thought that far ahead, but we will definitely also sand down the floors in here. And as you can tell, I still need to finish peeling the wallpaper, especially up in the second story. It's still not finished. And like I've said before, we do plan on keeping all the plaster that we can, so we do plan on restoring the plaster in here in the entryway. I love the idea of putting wallpaper back, but I'm not sure what I'll do yet, just because taking the wallpaper off has been such a chore. So if we do go back with the wallpaper, it'll probably be peel and stick, just in case I ever want to change it. It'll be a little bit easier to remove. Under the staircase, we plan on just hanging some jackets under here, or just things that we need to get out of the way, or where our guests can hang their jackets, just small things like that. Now we're going into the downstairs bathroom, and this is the room that actually used to be an exterior porch, and they just boxed it in, and you can see that they cut out underneath the staircase to make a doorway for the bathroom. This will be the bathroom that our guests use, but it's also going to be like a master bathroom because it does connect to the master bedroom downstairs. We started working in this bathroom a couple times now, and we quit every time just because we always go back to working on the kitchen. But in here on the walls, we plan on leaving it the lap siding because it's original to the house. We plan on doing beadboard on the ceiling and then tile on the floor, and a lot of people say that we should keep this wood floor in here, but it's actually severely water damaged. They used to have carpet in here, and so it just held the moisture in, and you cannot fix water damage in wood like that, so we plan on just putting tile back so we don't have to worry about it anymore. We plan on keeping this bathroom just white and bright because it is so small, and we do want to make it seem a little bit bigger. Now we're going into what is the master bedroom and the only actual bedroom on the downstairs floor. We do plan on this being our bedroom, and it is one of the biggest rooms in the house, so it's going to be such a change and so nice that we'll have that extra room. Right now we just use this room to store all of our tools and just things that we can't put anywhere else in the house, so it is pretty messy. And one of the things that we will have to fix in this bedroom is one of the windows. You can't really tell in the video because of the lighting, but one of the windows is actually busted on the outside, so we will have to do a replacement window. If you've been here for a while, then you know that on the left side of the fireplace there used to be a small closet there, and it just didn't really fit the space. We wanted the fireplace to be a statement piece for the room, and right here is where there used to be a stovepipe, but they actually patched the hole, and we may end up taking that out and just putting a cover on it, and then we will have to patch this brick back in. On this lower half of the brick, I already sanded off all the extra mortar, but up at the top I still have not done that, so that needs to be done. And we will also have to fix this. There's actually a hole drilled out in it also where they used to have a gas line ran into the fireplace, and we think that they did like faux gas logs in here, but the brick has also started to fall, so we will eventually have to hire somebody to come out and do some repair work for us, just because we have no idea how to do that. To the left of the fireplace where the closet used to be, we actually need to come in and take out the rest of this plaster, and we'll either plaster or drywall back over this, whichever we decide. Over on Instagram, I always get questions about if we save this oak headboard. You can see it in some of my original videos, and we did save it. It's not as old as people think. It's actually pretty modern, but we did keep it. We do plan on doing something with it. We will be refinishing these hardwood floors as well as the doors and the trim in this bedroom. Here on the ceiling, just like just about every other room in the house, we would like to do beadboard. We just really like the look of beadboard, and in here we'll be using the original light fixture. Where the bathtub is probably where our bed will sit. It'll probably sit center of that window and then have nightstands on each side. And we plan on having an armoire in here just because we tore out the closet. That way we can have some clothing storage, and we're really not sure what we'll do for the walls yet. Other than fix the plaster, I really haven't thought about what we'll do to each room on the walls, just because we're just focusing on it one room at a time, and I don't want to get overwhelmed with all the decisions, so we really try and take it just one project at a time. Now we're walking into what is the living room, and it is extremely messy and dark in here. This is where we do most of our work, especially me, with working on the kitchen island and these doors. It's so dark in here because behind this silver duckboard, we use it as a door, but there used to be a window there, but whenever they built on the addition, they actually removed the window and put a doorway in there, and there's a door that goes to it, but we just haven't hung it back up, and plus that room is not insulated, so we put up this duckboard door just to keep the heat in there. In here, we plan on restoring the hardwood floor as well as the trim, and we're trying to keep it as original as we can. And like I said, we'll probably do beadboard on the majority of the ceilings in the house. We will, of course, repair the plaster, and I really haven't thought about paint or wallpaper in here either. I just know that I want it to be light and bright just because this room is so dark where it only has one window. In here in the living room, the fireplace is probably what will require the most work just because the marble is busted and some of the pieces are actually missing, so we'll have to try and repair that. And then also the fireplace in here has collapsed in part of it, so we will have to get somebody out here to fix that. And then some of the detail pieces on the actual mantle itself have broken off over the years, so we will have to repair that. And also there's a couple spots where they've tried to fix it, whoever lived here previously, and they actually shot like huge nails through the wood, and it has caused it to bust apart, so we'll have to fix that also. Decor wise, we plan on keeping the living room pretty simple. We plan on putting maybe a sitting chair in the corner here by the fireplace, and then to the right of the silver door we'll probably put like maybe a love seat or a couch, and then probably on the back wall a couch. We're honestly not sure, and plus it kind of depends on what kind of furniture we can find. Now we're going into what is the addition, and this is not the original part of the house. This was built on in the 70s, and right now we just use it for all of our storage. As soon as you walk in, on the left there's the office, and it's what we call it. It's what we'll use it as. We plan on taking all the paneling down out of here, and we'll eventually drywall it. And then this is actually the basement door, and I don't actually show you guys the basement. There's nothing down there. We just have our water heater and our furnace down there, and then we also just store all of the canned food that I canned last year down there. But other than that, there's nothing down there, and we don't plan on renovating it at all. We're just going to leave it as is. I also forgot to mention that I'm not showing the cellar in this video. The cellar runs underneath the bathroom downstairs and the kitchen, but there's no stairs to get down there. This is one room in the house that pretty much nothing is staying the same. We plan on changing just about everything in here. Right now the floor that's showing is just the subfloor, and we will eventually put down some hardwood floors, and we're going to take off all this paneling and hang drywall, and then we're actually going to remove the ceiling and put up a vaulted ceiling. I also plan on taking out the windows that are in here currently and replacing them with floor to ceiling windows so that they match the windows that are currently in the main house. There's actually two exterior doors in this room, and one of them is behind this huge white cabinet, and we're not sure if we're going to leave those or take them out yet. To the left of the bigger white cabinet there is a closet there, and we'll just use that for all of our hunting clothes and stuff. We are avid hunters, so we do plan on using this room to keep all of our hunting supplies and hunting gear and stuff like that, but that'll be down the road, and we're not sure what else we'll use this room for yet. It's just kind of big, so we may eventually divide it into two rooms. We're really not sure what we'll do yet. Now we're headed back into the living room through the entryway and to what is the dining room, but right now we actually use it as our makeshift kitchen. Just like every other room, we plan on restoring the hardwood floors, that we plan on restoring the trim, and if we don't keep this closet in the corner, we will eventually keep the door, and we'll use it somewhere else in the house because we do need a few replacement doors. In here we plan on keeping it pretty simple decor wise also. We just plan on having our table with our chairs, and then we may have a buffet, but this room is huge for a dining room, so there's always room to add more things later on if I want to. This fireplace in here is one of the better ones. It's actually in better shape than a lot of the others, and if you remember, we did tear off the plaster and we plan on leaving the brick exposed. We're not sure about this closet yet. We haven't decided fully if we're going to keep it or if we're going to tear it out. We're just really unsure because the closet is really small, and it needs to be completely redone anyways, so we may just go ahead and tear it out. But we could always put an antique piece of furniture here and use it to store whatever we want to put in this closet. Now we're headed into the kitchen, and the kitchen is actually the next room that we hope to have done. We're hoping to have it done by the first of the year. So this is our current project, and a lot of people always ask if we're going to keep these floors, and no, we're not. We're actually going to lay hardwood floor over top of them because there's so much glue, and especially by the sink, it's severely water damaged, and so we have to just replace it. You can't fix it. In here, the walls will be white, and I'm really not sure on the ceiling. At first I said the ceiling was going to be white too, but I've been debating it, and they may be wood tone to match the floor. I'm not sure yet, so don't hold me to anything. But eventually we will hang a new back door. We have one that has 2 more rows of glass, and it's wood, so it'll help tie in better. And then this is the window we plan on leaving. A few people have asked why we don't put the original floor to ceiling window back in, and we don't do that just because we're going to be putting the kitchen sink right in front of this window, so it would be pointless to do that. The brick will be left exposed as well as the beams. In this corner on the other side of the saw, we plan on putting back the corner pantry, and then over where that black canopy light is, that's where we'll put the refrigerator, and then the kitchen sink will go in front of the window. And then in the corner we'll have a small L countertop, and then the stove will sit in center of the brick, and then on the left hand side of the stove we will have a small cabinet. Now we're going back through the dining room, heading upstairs. And I do just want to say that anything that I've said that we plan on doing or is the idea for what we want to do, it is subject to change because I change my mind more than anybody I know. So take everything I say with a grain of salt and know that it may change. Once you get to the top of the stairs, you have to turn, and then to the left there is a bedroom, and that's the way to the laundry room. And then if you continue going right, it takes you on up the stairs. Like I said, we do plan on refinishing the stairs and finishing peeling the wallpaper, and we'll fix the plaster, and then we will also refinish the trim up here. Here on the main staircase landing, I do plan on maybe putting like a little chair or reading nook or just something like that, something up here that we can sit and look out this window because it does have the best view. I think the staircase is by far my favorite part of the whole house just because there's so much detail and just craftsmanship, and I love it. To the left and to the right up here, there are bedrooms, and to the left, that is actually the room that I used to use as my office until summer came, and I didn't want to pay for the electric bill to run the air conditioner in here, so we just unplugged it and moved my stuff to our bedroom. Out of every room in the entire house, I think this one by far has the best floors just because the middle is complete raw wood, and it gives you such a good idea of how the floors will look whenever they're refinished. And then the outside, of course, is just really orange, and we'll have to sand all of it down to refinish it. Out of all of the fireplaces in the house, this one is definitely by far in the best shape. There's no cracking on the pads, so there will be minimal work, and also the inside of it has not collapsed. I always get tons of questions asking why we tore down the ceilings downstairs and why we would go through and tear out the plaster, and we didn't want to, but we had to because, as you can tell, I don't know who did it, but at some point they put drywall or sheetrock over top of the plaster, and I know this is the recommended way to just cover up anything that may have asbestos or anything like that. And I've talked to so many people that say that that is their biggest regret in their house, and it also is the biggest regret in our house because it has caused so many problems. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but this ceiling sags so bad because of the weight. So we have to eventually come in and tear this ceiling down just like the rest. But that is why we have tore down all of the ceilings so far, and we're going to have to do it to the rest of the rooms also. This right here is our attic access, and we will eventually build a door for it whenever we decide and finally finish the ceiling. To the right of the fireplace is a closet, and we plan on leaving all of the closets up here in the 3 bedrooms that are upstairs just because they're small, but they'll work for guests or kids or anything like that. We will eventually fix the plaster, and I'm not sure if we'll wallpaper or just paint in here. And right here, we will have to fix where they put this patch job in for this window. They did an awful job, so we have to go back and fix that, but it works for now. And we have no set in stone plan for any of the upstairs bedrooms just because we don't have kids. We don't really have guests that come and stay with us or anything like that. So we'll probably will make one of these bedrooms a guest bedroom, but other than that, we're not sure what we will do with them. Now we're headed through the foyer into the other bedroom, and this other bedroom is actually the smallest bedroom that we have in the house. It's right above the dining room, so it's the same exact size as our dining room. In this room, we're unsure if we're going to be able to save the floors or not. We hope we can, just because they had glue where they had laminate flooring in here at one point, and also the window to the left actually was busted out, and so there was a lot of water damage over the years, so we need to sand it down to see how bad it really is. There's actually this spot in the middle of the floor where the floors have been perfectly cut, and we think they did this whenever they were running electric so that they could get electric to the dining room. We're really not sure. This bedroom's fireplace is missing its surround, so we will replace the surround, and we need to peel the wallpaper, and we'll eventually tear down this ceiling also, just like the other bedroom. And we're not sure what we'll do with the trim in any of the bedrooms yet, just because the trim is actually in really good shape and the stain still looks great. If you've been here for a while, then you know that this room is what we used to call the coon closet, because this is where raccoons were living when we first bought the house. And so we will eventually probably replace the floor in here in this closet. And I already went in and tore off all the plaster because there was no point in trying to save it where they had lived in here. And right here to the right, we have an access to our water, which will always leave that. And the wall is still left on the right hand side, just because that is actually the bathroom, and we use that bathroom currently, and I didn't want to risk knocking a hole in the shower wall since we still use it. But underneath here you can see all of our plumbing and the actual bottom side of the bathtub. Honestly, I haven't thought about anything design wise what we'll do in this closet, so it is what it is for now, and eventually I'll come across what I want to do for it. Now we're headed through this small door, and it's actually our bathroom. We're not sure what it used to be, but the ceilings in it are so short, so we think it used to be maybe an extension to that closet or something like that. We're honestly not sure. But this bathroom is nothing special, and honestly in really rough shape. We just use it for now just because we need somewhere we can use the bathroom, and it works for us for the little bit of time that we're going to need to use it. We're hoping to have a bathroom by January 1st, so hopefully not much longer of using this, but it works for now, and it helped us get to our goal of moving in. This bathroom will eventually be completely gutted. The floors are not worth saving. They used to have plants and stuff growing in the sink and in the bathtub. So just about everything in this bathroom is ruined, and it just all needs to go. So that's our plan. And as you can see, there's tons of water damage around the toilet. One thing we noticed about them was they were not good about fixing leaks. But eventually our goal is to turn this into a sort of wet room. Now we're headed into the laundry room, and I'll link below the full reveal of the laundry room and all the details. If you watched my last video, the Q&A that I posted, this curtain right here will make sense to you. It's just a shower curtain, and we have AC in our bedroom, so we leave that curtain pulled closed, and we keep this jug here just to hold weight on it to keep it closed. And then we also shut the bathroom door. That way we can have air conditioning in our bedroom, the laundry room, and the bathroom. But now we're headed into the third and final bedroom upstairs, and this is the bedroom that we currently stay in, and it works for us for now. We don't even feel like we're roughing it anymore. It's just comfortable for us. And getting to come up here after each day honestly feels like an escape, and we've just made the best of what we have. We're really not sure what we'll do with this room. Of course, we'll take the paneling off the walls, and then under there is wallpaper. We're not sure if the glue is going to pull off the plaster, kind of like it did in this spot, but some of it was tore off before we moved in, and we didn't do it, so they weren't careful about taking it off, I'm sure. So we could maybe be a little careful and see if we could salvage it. This closet we do plan on leaving. Right now we just use it for the storage from the window weights and the trim around the windows. We will have to take the ceiling down in here, and we will also have to restore the doors and the trim. But other than that, we're really not sure about paint color or wallpaper. We will restore the floors, and other than that, we're really not sure. And I know I'll probably get some questions about the trash bags hanging on the window and why we have rugs on the floor if they're not refinished and dirty. But these rugs are old ones from the house that we lived in previously, and we needed something that we could put on the floor to help hold the cold air upstairs, because the floors are not insulated, so all the air was just going straight through the floor. And we needed trash bags on the windows to help block the sun from coming in also, and we didn't want to buy curtains. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave them below and I'll answer them if I can. Hopefully this video answered some of your guys' questions, and hopefully it gives a better idea of the layout of the house. I know it can be so confusing, but that's going to be it for today's video. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys will like and subscribe.